Ever notice that the farther away you go, the closer together you feel? Memories built to last in the all-new Hyundai Santa Fe.
I don't know all of these names, but apparently he's a bit of a character in the AFL world, so that's cool to see, and obviously keep an eye on how he goes.
I hope, I actually pray that he has the officiating whistle emote, the one that holds up a red card. I know it's a different sport and everything, but please,
same thing, right?
Get an elimination and use that emote, blow your whistle, and call it a day. I would go crazy. Australia would lose their minds too.
Yeah, a few TV actresses, actors, personalities, that kind of thing as well. We spoke about Dave Hughes earlier, the comedian. And obviously, you know, you've got your cohort of your Twitch streamers and the YouTubers that are involved in Fortnite and just gaming in general here in Australia. I think, again, like for those kinds of people, again, touching back on what it's like being an Australian in a world like this, you know, we don't get opportunities like this so often. So, you know, maybe if you're not up toward the top end of things, you know, you're not a loser fruit, you're not a Muse Elk, you're not the #1. For those streamers that are just behind them, to be able to come here, get your brand out there, be able to have a bit of fun, show your face around, talk to the fans, talk to the community, and be involved in everything.
Just the same way that you want to watch professional sports. You want to watch the best of the best play video games. It's entertaining for a lot of people, and it's really cool to see those professional players really be rewarded for their craft.
Yeah, and I want to touch on something that you said just before as well, where you were talking about a lot of professional sports people starting to kind of get involved with gaming. I think just by and large, a lot of people are starting to play games, they're getting involved, they're having a good time. You ask any of these AFL players or any of these tennis players or whatever, cricket, whatever your game may be, do they play games? And I bet you, any money, there's going to be a few of them, 50% at least, that do, you know, dabble a little bit every now and then. I think we've seen that from some of these matches already, where we saw some pretty decent plays out of some people that you might not have expected them from. And I want to touch on someone like, for example, Mitch Robinson, who we spoke to a little bit earlier.
Awesome guy.
He's a professional AFL player, plays for Brisbane.
For us for now, Fallout here with Elfish Guy, but we're going to throw it over to Vandy and to Ben on the main stage.
Thanks, gents. Yes, we're about to get into our second match very, very soon. Just getting the last of our big celebrities into game. Vandy, you got to cast the first match. What were your main thoughts coming out of that one?
I really just like the versatility coming out of the players. So although they had an amateur player with them, a lot of them were really caring and making sure that they were A, either keeping the amateur safe, or B, just making sure that their amateur had enough loot, had a little bit of game sense on what was going on. I saw a lot of them when I peeked behind. They were just explaining a lot of the plays. Like, there was so much communication.
We're taking a look here at some of the replays from our first match. A lot of great dancing on the plane, of course, the quad, the rocket on the back. And look, again, for those of you who may not be 100% sure what the difference is between the first lot of games and this lot of games, is that this is duos. It's essentially like doubles in tennis, Vandy, where the main difference is that if you're playing as a team, if you get knocked down, someone can pick you back up again.
Yeah, absolutely. That's the best part of it. So if you aren't too far away from your teammate, you can make sure that you have enough time to get the revive off.
We take a look here, some of our sicker limbs coming through from our first match. I think, as you said, some impressive
this is
plays.
Where Lockie used the launcher and blew himself up. I like the play that he was trying to do. You can see exactly what his thought process was. He wanted to go for the big, explosive, fun play. Unfortunately, he blew himself up in the process.
Look, it's a 50-50 play. When I say 50-50 play, maybe a 10-90 play. 10% of the time it comes off, 90% of the time it doesn't. But look, desperate times call for desperate